Hey, welcome in. We'll get started here in just about 5 minutes or so. We'll give it a few minutes. Hey, how's it going? Welcome in. If you could just give me a yes or no, how the sound sounds, I'd appreciate it. Uh, in the comments down there. Also on YouTube, I'd appreciate it if you could give me a sounds good, sounds not good. That would be appreciated. We're going to get started here in just a second. Hey, how's it going? Welcome in. Echo? Oh no, not again. Let's see if we can fix it this way. Still an echo? Is there still an echo now? Anyone on TikTok can let me know if there's an echo. I'd appreciate it. Probably because of this thing. Is there an echo still there at St. John? All good. It's got to be the computer and the computer mic and the mic from my actual mic getting contradictive information. Um, yeah, so just give it 1 second. We'll kind of roll here. I might actually restart just to make sure because I want to yeah, I want to roll into this and just keep talking so I don't have to edit anything. That would be great. Um, maybe that's what I'll do. Then we don't get 3 minutes of just me standing here saying echo and all good. Yeah, no, you know what? We'll just get rolling with it since I think we're all good. St. John's, you can let me know over there. I'd appreciate it if we're all good. We'll just roll right into it, I think. Should be fine. Yeah, so welcome in. I'm gonna be rolling with this podcast moving forward. Um, it's just gonna be a single thing. I'll still go on people's lives, but I'm gonna try to post some content on YouTube as well as on TikTok, so you can find my YouTube handle um, where you'll see the whole videos post. Um, Looking to do a video today on the femination. That's kind of what this is going to be all about. The goals, kind of what we're seeing in the dating world. Other things such as just how men should navigate this. Um, Women in today's society. That's kind of the mission of what I'm looking to do here. Um, well, what we're seeing today is men are being called to make a sacrifice. Oh, really quick on TikTok, are you guys, anyone viewing? Can you just give me a thumbs up or a yes if the sound sounds okay, or if there's an echo or anything like that? I'd appreciate it. Just write it in the chat really quick. I'd also encourage, I'd appreciate if you follow, shared the live as well. Is there an echo in the chat by chance? No one's answering. That's okay. we'll just go forward and hopefully we'll pray for the best. I think St. John got us all good there. So men have being called to make a sacrifice. I think. I think what's happening is the feminist movement is pushing men on a moral kind of way where men are going to have to make some kind of sacrifice moving forward. Um, because what feminism is pushing for is men to step away from women. Um, and every movement we see coming out of this, such as the red pill, um, MGTOW, you're seeing men doing exactly that. They're telling young men to move away from women, um, and this is exactly what the feminist movement is pushing for. So we're falling into this femitrap, is what I call it. And the only way we can fall out of this trap is if we were to um, uh, kind of maintain the normal family structure. That's the only way I can see this not falling on its face. Because that's exactly the thing that they can't argue. They can't argue a happy man. They can't argue um, men, are leaving their children, not taking care of women. These are Yeah, so these are ways. Sorry, I was reading the chat. I shouldn't do that. But so we're becoming to this moral war, I think, and it's going to be against some purple-haired, people-eating, septum-piercing, lingerie football playing, behemoth rugby players, power-lifting injection maniacs, face-melting Botox super fans, OF panhandling smexaholics, fast food gobblers. And I think it's going to be very important that we don't fall into this trap of allowing them to take the lead and lead us into destruction. Um, yeah, so we can see when men are in these relationships and in all aspects take riskier or less risky behavior. Um, men that are single typically will exhibit more riskier behaviors. We see this with men within the corn addictions. 55% of married men watch corn at least once a week, which is extremely high. But 75% of single men watch it at least 3 times a week, which does show, and this kind of correlates with a lot of the different addictions, um, that men when they are in relationships typically have healthier lifestyles, do better, and are happier. And to do this, it's going to be very important for men to find women that they truly like and desire. So we'll be going over some of those traits that men typically look for. But if a man's married to a woman that he truly wanted for 20 years and then is divorced, I think he can say that he lived a pretty good life. I think where we're seeing today is men are jumping into these marriages and they're married to, yeah, maybe one of these injecting Botox maniacs or some septum piercers. Um, and then what happens is 5 years down the line, they divorce them, still take half of everything, and they really got nothing out of it. And I think that's a huge problem. I think moving forward, we need to be shooting for these long relationships with women that we truly desire. When we have these, even if it does go downhill 30 years or 20 years from now, what's up, everyone? I think men can at least see value in the life they lived, and that's a good thing. Um, I kind of want to go into when women have kind of played this good guy finishes last. And I think this is an important thing to talk about. Um, I kind of am building a theory that women today, specifically feminist, the purple-haired people eating, septum piercing, Botox injecting maniacs, they are living a life of trauma from the ages of 18 to about 28. And then they go and look for a husband that's going to be able to fix this trauma. And then what we are currently seeing today is once that trauma's fixed, the husband is has fixed the trauma because he's has the emotional intelligence to kind of work through her emotions, get her back on her feet, maybe even put her in a better position than she was when she started. What we're typically seeing, um, what we're typically seeing is women then divorce the husband and start the whole trauma experience right over again. They're not divorcing it and getting out of this toxic relationship to build a better life. Typically, what they're seeing is women are getting out of these and jumping right back into dating, which which is kind of contradictive. You're jumping from one toxic situation to potentially another toxic situation. Um, which doesn't really make much sense to me. I think what men are doing is they are fixing a lot of these women, and then once they're fixed, the good guy that fixed them was never truly the guy they desired in the first place, and then they leave that man for and take everything he's got, and don't really feel too bad doing anything about it either. And you know they don't feel bad because of one simple thing. A good woman would make the husband be a father, right? Would push that husband to be a father and say, go at any length to make sure that that husband is seeing his kids. And we don't typically see that. Um, so I have asked like women that allow their husbands to see their children after divorces, and typically they push their husbands to make sure they're involved or their exes. And this is important kind of to distinguish, I think, because um, you have two different ones. You have ones that make it extremely difficult, and then ones that want it and push for that to be part of their lives. And these would be good women. They just might not like you anymore. But I do think that they are using the good men to solve their trauma, and they will leave you. This is why it's going to be so important, like I stated in the beginning, to find exactly what you want as a man, whatever that is you desire, because at least then when it does end in either success, which is what we're ultimately shooting for, or disaster, you at least kind of live a little happier life about it. Um, and I've seen this in my personal life, men that were married 36 years, got divorced, and they're totally okay with the divorce because they feel they got tons of value out of the relationship. Um, so yeah, I think that's kind of where we're seeing, but I don't think it's a good solution for men to move away from dating and long-term relationships. All that's doing is playing into the femitrap that they have set. This is exactly what feminism wants. The only way for them to gain power in society is to reduce men to nothing. And we can see that men that are not in committed relationships have taken riskier behaviors, see less value in themselves, which isn't necessarily right or wrong, but regardless, they typically see this anyway. Um, so I think we are definitely falling within a trap of going our own way. Um, Most married men that have children and a happy wife and a happy family will tell you it's a good decision. It's not a bad decision, and they get a lot of value out of it. But it is important that we do not let the 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 injection workout ladies and the ladies that are benching 300 pounds to take over men just because we no longer find them desirable. If men reward good women will keep coming, and we know we can do these types of things. Um, men have the resources. Men have always had the resources. Women have always valued, for the most part, the same type of men. Good men need to keep rewarding good women. It's the only way to combat feminism. Outside of that, society is going to continue to push feminism down our throats, and we're probably going to lose. To be honest, they already make up the largest voter base. Um, they already push for the most social policies. And even when we have the opportunity to do opposite of that, nothing really changes. Um, so I think it's definitely going to be important. So to answer a few things that I've been reading, workout ladies are more conservative. Workout ladies are not more conservative. Being healthy is a conservative factor, I would say. Um, Workout ladies that dedicate 100% of their life to being in the gym and using injections to make themselves incredibly behemothly large are not conservative ladies. These are ladies that know they only value themselves, and this is men as well. These men that go into the gym every day um, are definitely there for themselves. They have no intention of providing that workout to women. Um, it is strictly for themselves. We need to move in a way where we are rewarding women that prioritize family, prioritize children, and make that their number one push. Um, because I do think that they should be rewarded. Um, yeah, I don't think that most men find most women desirable anymore, which makes it difficult, and that's probably one reason why men are moving their own way. Um, but if we do reward the ones that find themselves desirable, and when I say that, I don't mean looks wise. I'm saying the morality of the woman. A lot of these problems, if you just remove the morals of the man, like if you take men completely out of the equation, it still doesn't change how women think about things. We need to fully understand why they think about what they think about, and what they're truly doing, because I think for the most part we've been reactionary, instead of strategically planning ahead of what we're looking at. We see women moving in a way, and then we react when we need to do quite the opposite to that. I will say this: thanks everyone for coming in. Hey CJ, how's it going? Um, if you guys could go give me a subscribe on YouTube, I'd appreciate it. Um, we're gonna be running this. I know my first video is a little bad right now. It'll get better as I get more comfortable with using it. And get a better understanding. I got some other ideas on how to make it a little more creative. Um, but I will be posting this on YouTube and TikTok, so I would appreciate you guys to follow, share, do all the good old dinglings that hit the little dingling thing on the on the on the YouTube. But I don't think that men should be moving in their own way. This is one thing that we need to focus on. Um, we cannot fall into the fema trap. Um, that's exactly what they want. If you talk to every feminist out there, they want men to stay as far away from women as possible. Um, and that could be due to they've had bad problems with men, so they want them to remove themselves, or they want to see happy women in families also follow that because they don't like to see people be happy. One of the two is existing. Um, but I think moving forward, the one thing feminism has not been able to combat is happy men in a happy family where their women have not had any trauma and their daughters have not had any trauma. This is one thing that that the femination has not been able to combat, nor will they ever. All they will do is despise these actions because they don't have it themselves. And they do everything on the contrary to finding that because of the trauma that they have. And like I said, the trauma that they have, if they do end up finding a man, what they end up doing is letting that man fix them because the men are socially intelligent and they let that man fix them. And then 5 years later, they divorce them because now they are a brand new woman and they are fixed and they want to go create more trauma for themselves again. So that's typically what I've seen. I've never seen a lot of women get out of marriages, stay single, just kind of work on themselves and their children. A majority of time they hit the dating space and start finding more trauma right up trauma alley. Um, and who knows? They'll probably go to the gym, start doing crazy stuff, injecting their face with all sorts of plastic, doing all sorts of crazy stuff that men have don't care anything about. Um, I actually did a thing where we reviewed a bunch of men's wants and out of women and kind of what they desire. Looks wasn't on their top even three. Uh, it was funny, kind, um, and someone that's able to have a good conversation. Um, I think those are pretty standard across the board. And I don't see a lot of women doing anything that relates to those top three things um, from a long-term standpoint. I see a lot of women moving in a way where they do quite the opposite. Um, they go learn how to not be kind unless they find a man that's willing to be kind too. Um, they find a man, or they go in a way where they have to look a certain way to please themselves. Because I do believe most women today dress, put makeup on, dress, and do all these other things for themselves. I don't think they do them for men anymore. Um, and I don't think that was always the case, but I do think women are moving in a time now where they are very self-centered. Um, yeah, so men, moving forward, let's stick to women long term. Let's promote good women. We know what this looks like. This is not a new thing for men. Men know exactly what they're looking for in a relationship. Um, we need to reward these women. We need to make sure that these women have everything because they deserve everything. Um, and the women that don't want to abide by these, we need to keep telling them how happy we are, uh, um, how much trauma our women don't have. This is going to be very good because our women decided to prioritize protection, security, um, associating with good people. Um, and are there outliers where men and women both fall into bad situations? I'm not like saying that in a disingenuous way. I think there are women that fall into bad situations that are good women. And I think most men can even over a few dates figure out that bad things happen to all people, and they're able to distinguish women that have taken a life of bad choices and a woman who has had one bad situation. We are able to distinguish between the two. Um, and I don't think most men care too much about being with a woman that had horrendous things or bad things happen to them. What we do care about is a woman that is unable to make good decisions for herself, um, and has not really changed her behavior, and keeps pushing bad decisions and then just wants a man because she feels like she deserves a man. And that's not acceptable as well. So yeah, we're gonna just do 30 minutes. We're at 25. I want to wrap it up. Here we can do like some kind of answer questions for the five last minute. Um, yeah, so why would you date her? What do you mean date her? So are you talking about the woman with that continuously makes bad decisions? Or the woman that just had something horrific happen? Because I think most men don't look at that as being a not okay thing. I think most men are able to distinguish the factors and they will decide to keep a woman that has had a woman with trauma and yes, bad decision. Yeah, I think women with trauma, because something bad happened, maybe in their childhood, whatever, one bad date, one bad man they dated. Most men can distinguish that. I think relentless bad decisions, three baby daddies, um, uh, uh, a woman that spends every weekend at the club, a woman that uh, prioritizes herself, such as has to dress promiscuous to feel good about herself, has to wear makeup to feel good about herself, has to uh, get $30,000, $40,000 of Botox to feel good about herself. A woman that has to um, uh, be part of a rugby team where she's going to be disfigured and mutilated on a weekly basis due to her sport. This is not typically what's going to result in a good family structure. Um, and I would not suggest doing these things or dating these women. But yes, a woman that has kids that lost her husband, got trauma. I think that's a normal human behavior. Um, we can't control these things. I think these women all deserve an amazing man. Even if a woman had one bad man that she dated, um, and something horrendous happened to her, I think most men or good men are able to distinguish that and say this woman is still a good woman. Uh, we can't control, all criminals in this world. And yeah. Um, What else? Anyone else got? Any other questions? If not, I would appreciate it if you could go like the video on YouTube. I'll have it posted up here in the next probably uh, 15, 20 minutes. Go like the video. My handle is in the prompt right here. I'm going to do this every Tuesday and Thursday for 30 minutes. I'll try to make it a little longer next time. We're going to do different topics. So this is kind of just how men should move moving forward. We can't fall in the fema trap. Not good. The fema trap will always deceive us. We will we women feminist women want men to move away from them. The only thing that they can't fight with is a happy wife and a happy husband and children. They can't fight it. They can't do anything about it other than cry to their cats and go to fast food and eat chicken and stuff. Like they can go be sad to themselves. I don't think anyone cares anymore. Um, so, thank you for coming in and viewing. I appreciate anyone who sent anything, hand hearts. Um, I am trying to push YouTube, so I would appreciate if you could go to YouTube, and follow me there. I don't ask for any gifts or anything. You can if you want. I'm looking for followers right now, um, so I can get on some bigger platforms hopefully this year. That's kind of the goal. I'll try to work on myself and how I present this because this is my first time doing it. So I'm like nervous. I'm like stinky right now just from like doing this. Like, um, even though I've been debating all you degenerates for what, like a year now, I should be used to this. I'm just talking to myself when usually I'm talking to raging behemoth feminists that have septum piercings. And the main goal of the femination is any woman who removes her septum piercing, I will have you up as a guest, and I want to hear all about your healing journey. um, it is going to be important that we reward the healing journey as well. Any feminist that removes their septum piercing and wants to go through the healing journey with the Templars, you will be accepted in the family. Um, but you have to have the septum piercing removed for 1 month. So it's got to close up. We need this shit to close up. Not okay if it don't close up. So please, if that is the case and you've removed it for a month, um, I will be delighted to have you up as a guest. Um, no, not the colored hair. We won't attack the colored hair yet. Those are the purple-haired people eaters. Well, I want to focus septum piercers, right? Like this, septum piercings belong on an animal, not a human. Um, Hair, you know what? Like at least it belongs on human beings. Um, we'll focus that, maybe our second year into this. But let's focus on the rings that belong on cows. Um, yeah, they are all nuts. We are going to end it, but I will say that the main goal here is we need to combat the good old, the purple-haired people eating, septum piercing, lingerie football playing, behemoth rugby players, powerlifting injection maniacs, the face melting Botox super fans, the OF panhandling smexaholics, and the fast food gobblers. We must remove them. They cannot, let keep ruining men. This is not an okay thing. We must take them down. And the only way to do that is to reward good men, be good men, have families, and throw it in their face. You know what I mean? Let's go to the rugby field and hold a sign up saying, I have a family, and they will just start crying on the field. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to the gym and instead of watching them freaking doing their 400 power lifts, I want to, hug my child and be like, you know what? See, I have a kid. And they're going to be like, oh, yeah. So I think this is what we need to focus on. I appreciate everyone coming here. I'm going to post this on YouTube and TikTok if it allows me to post a video this long. If not, if anyone knows how to do that, I'd appreciate your help. I'm going to keep working on my videos. Probably have like a countdown, 5 minute countdown, so that I can get some more people in to view it while we're going. I appreciate it, Katie, CJ, Rican, some of my big followers, St. John's, always my main follower. I appreciate it. Let's see what we can do and if I can kind of grow this following and kind of take this where I intended it to go instead of just rage baiting feminists on TikTok all day. Did not intend for this to be like this. Um, yeah, I'll talk with you, Katie, after. You can help me out with it. I'd appreciate it. So, thank you, everyone. Have a good day. I'll be on TikTok debating some more feminists all day, every day. Um, and like I said, any septum piercers, please DM me on TikTok or YouTube. I'll be more than happy to let you explain your journey, your healing journey of your trauma.